All right. So we got everything in place.
Hello and
Good.
welcome to another episode of Internet Hitchhikers. Is that our name? Hold on. Yep, we're good.
All right. So welcome back, everybody. This is episode 3. Thanks for tuning in. If anybody is tuning in, um, usually this show we talk about technology, news, entertainment, and some apps for your smartphone, maybe even computer. So we'll go right into it. Today, general topics, we'll be talking about a lot of the conferences that have been going on in the past couple weeks and some shows. So first up, technology. As you may or may not know, I'm definitely following the Android Wear development with Google and LG and Motorola. So the watch I'm most excited for is the LG G Watch, which is most likely going to be shown off at Google I/O next week. Some rumors leaked last week about the specifications for it. So one we have looks like 36-hour standby time and a 400 milliamp battery. So the 400 milliamp battery doesn't really surprise me. You know, watches and devices that small, they're usually that capacity anyway. So what does concern me is the 36-hour standby time, because using the Pebble right now, I can go a good 6, 7 days with it without charging. Now, a lot of people say if you're going to charge your phone every night, you might as well charge your watch. But it's, a watch, something you wear that's on you all the time, you don't really expect to have to charge all the time. So that kind of worries me. I think I'm going to get it anyway, but we'll see. What do you think, Nima?
I'm more of a fan of the Moto 360. It's just to me at this stage, which is the beginning stage of smartwatches, I feel like design is a big part, and the G Watch it looks like every other smartwatch. We know more about the G Watch than the Moto 360, but I believe from the videos I've seen and from the things I've read about the Moto 360 that um, there might be a couple more surprises coming out about that watch soon regarding the battery and because I think the only thing they mentioned about it was wireless charging. They never said how or if you have to take it off to charge it or what. But I'm still waiting to get more information. I'm not too excited about the G Watch, but I'll keep you posted with my thoughts once we know more about Motor 360.
Yeah, I like the design of the 360, but the G Watch, it seems I'm a very plain guy. You look at my phone, the Nexus 5, it's the default wallpaper that comes with it. I've tried everything else. I've rooted my phone in the past. I've been through at least 6 phones, Android phones, but at the end of the day, I just like the plain, normal interface because it does what I want. So the G Watch looks like it's going to go along with that, but again, this is battery life. If I literally, it's 36-hour standby time, so what if you're actively using it? If it only lasts 24 hours, again, you don't want to think about charging your watch.
Especially if I buy a watch, I would want to use it like the Nike Fuel Band as a health band or a exercise band or whatever. That's one of the uses I would want to have for it. And if 36-hour standby time is just what it is, the 36-hour standby time, does it mean I can't go a full day using it without having to charge it? And I look at my watch every 10 minutes, I feel like. So I don't know what. See, it's so vague about all these uh, whatchamacallits about it, informations about it that 36-hour standby for a laptop. You know what that means, but you don't know what that means for a watch. Does it
Yeah.
mean with it just sitting there off your wrist on the table, or does it mean you moving it and using the gyroscope in it. And they're so vague about. Well, they haven't really officially said anything about any of the specs. So
Yeah. So we'll get that into that in a couple minutes. So you wanted to talk about 4K.
yes, I am a big fan of 4K TV, especially this year more than any other year, because I feel like TV companies are getting more into the cheaper 4K TVs. I think it was Vazio that announced they're going to have a 50-inch 4K TV for $1,000, which is for 4K TV compared to the previous years, it's really cheap. And then I think every 5 inches, it's another $500 to upgrade. But that is good news with the pricing and everything. The only problem I have with 4K is, uh, you know, companies like Netflix, Hulu, HBO Go, they're getting more into the 4K uh, shows and movies, but that's just them. I don't see myself buying a 4K TV just for those uses. If I were able to play 4K video games and watch TV 4K, you know how you have the cable box and you have your HD channels and your normal channels?
Yeah.
I would want to have 4K channels. That doesn't exist right now. So I feel like it will really be useful a couple years down the line. For right now, I don't see myself buying a 4K TV.
And that happens with a lot of stuff, a lot of technology. 1080p, where they're really stressing with like the new Xbox and the other consoles that it's going to run in full 1080p. So we're still just harnessing that power. So we'll see where that goes. All right, so coming right back to Google. So I wrote a blog post a few days ago about my Google I/O predictions. For those that don't know, Google I/O is Google's conference they hold yearly, where they announce new software, new platforms, new APIs for developers, and new products. Like sometimes they introduce new versions of Android. So my predictions for this year at least. The stuff I've gathered and stuff that's leaked and stuff that we know that they said. First up, like I already said, the G Watch and the Moto 360. We're definitely going to see more of that. If anything, maybe release date, pricing. We've gotten the UK pricing in pounds, but we have no idea what they're really going to be in US dollars. Next up, we may see a new version of Android. There was a slight version bump that came out a couple of weeks ago, but it was the actual version number was completed back in March. So it was done for a while, just Google never pushed it out. Next up, Google Fit, which looks like they snuck in some code in the latest version of Google Play services. If you have an Android phone, that little Google settings app you have there, that's Google Play services. So it recently updated to support like fitness stuff, and we'll probably see that unveiled at Google I/O, because the G Watch is going to have a pedometer built in already. So I think right off the bat it's going to support that. You can at least keep track of at least your steps, and it's going to integrate with Google Play games, maybe games, something else. It's basically Google's version of Game Center. Also, more improvements to Google Now, which is, I really love Google search with voice commands and predictive search, essentially. Recently, the head of Google Plus, he departed for another company, I believe. Don't quote me on that.
Too late.
It almost seems like Google Plus, as you Nima might feel that way too, has been almost shoved down everybody's throats. Because when it came out, for a lot of services, you were basically forced to sign up for Google Plus to do anything, to use Hangouts, for example.
Yep.
This whole thing right now, we're running off of Google Plus,
Mhm.
and to use the Google Hangouts chat, you have to have Google Plus, and they've even shoved it into Gmail. So you got your Google Plus circles in Gmail now, and a lot of people just didn't want to create basically a social media profile with it. So hopefully, it almost seems like they're gonna focus a little less on it because it seems like they were forced to do it because of the head at Google Plus.
Because
Last,
just looking at my coworkers, they all have Google Plus. None of them use it. Me being one of them. And for the exact same reason you just said, everything you want to do with Google, I feel like you have to have the Google Plus, and it has turned into that fake email you have, or not fake, but that email you have that you only give to people who ask for your email, and you don't really want to give them give them your main email. That's what Google Plus has turned into for a lot of people. They just sign up, put their name and maybe a picture, and that's it. They use all the other apps and not Google Plus, the social network Google Plus.
yeah, again, I'm living all Google, so I don't mind. It's a nice alternative. Um, all those apps you see that let you sign in with Facebook, you're noticing they may add a sign in with Google option too,
Mm-hmm.
which I like a little better than Facebook. For some reason, I actually find Facebook a little bit more creepy than Google recently because if anybody that uses the app may have noticed that there was a new notification saying that basically they're gonna use your ads, use your your personal info in ads. Maybe not personal info, but it's.
I'm just starting to get real creeped out by a lot of Facebook stuff. Both you and I were at a party recently on Saturday for our friend's birthday, and I was talking to someone about uh, we were comparing Reddit to Facebook, and I was talking about how Facebook would work so much better if it was like Reddit when people upvoted and downvoted and everything. So your main page would be things you want to see. It wouldn't be all the like this apple because I don't know, helps a child in Africa. I don't know, but the problem with that is knowing the number of people who like these pictures that you look at and you just shake your head. I feel like if Facebook was like Reddit, all you would see would be that stuff. Just a bunch of pictures and posts that they're just asking to be shared. And so slowly, Facebook is being turned into just a, what should I call it? Internet garbage dump, basically. Just go in there, searching for something useful, and then you go out. You don't really go in there to. I don't say I'm never on Facebook for more than a minute at a time. I just come in, I just shovel through the garbage, and then I see two useful things, and that's it.
Yeah. So I found the notification. So basically, they'll be tracking whatever your info is throughout other websites now instead of just Facebook. Now they've been kind of doing that already because you go on Amazon and search for, I don't know, banana peeler, and it's gonna it's gonna show up on Facebook. You're like, hey, you're interested in more banana peelers?
I've noticed that. That creeps me out.
Yeah, now that's the difference. A lot of people think, oh, I don't want to give all my info to Google and stuff. The thing is, Google started out as a search company. They are a search company. They make money off your searches. So I have no problem with them trying to figure out what's in my email. I choose to do that. Now, a lot of companies like Microsoft, some people are all Microsoft, some people are all Google. That's fine. Some people are all Apple, as Apple adds more services. I'd rather trust all my stuff with Google. That's my preference. But hey, Microsoft has search. They have Bing. You can put in personal info. Um, they have email. They have cloud storage. They can see everything just like Google can. So you have to pick your poison.
The funny story about Facebook and how it knows what you've been searching and kind of gives you advertisements for the things you've been searching. Uh, like I said, friend's birthday was this weekend, and I've been looking through just a bunch of wacky stuff as a birthday gift. So now my Facebook, when I open it up, there's men's underwear ads and just ads I don't want to see on Facebook. I just wanted to search for it one time as a joke, buy a gift for my friend, send it to him, and that's it. Get it over with. But now I have on Facebook. I don't know. I almost want to start Googling a bunch of stuff that I like for it to change back to, I don't know, cameras and phones and smartwatches again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so again, I actually get less relevant stuff with Google. I get less advertisements, I think. I don't even notice what's going on Facebook anymore. I just block it all out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I got right now on Facebook. I have offers for AT&T, Superman comic, Photoshop, because I just searched Photoshop, I think, and shoes. I wasn't shopping for shoes. Google, at least it can predict, it knows I was searching for something and helps me with that search. It says, hey, you're looking up Chromecast or the G-Watch. Here's some more news about the G-Watch. That can help me. It's not trying to advertise something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So last thing on the list of predictions, my personal predictions, actually what Google said they're going to be doing, Google Voice. I was a big, heavy user of Google Voice.
I was a big, heavy...
I used Google Voice a lot years ago when I was in school because I used to work in the basement. So Google Voice allowed me to text over data or through the computer, even make calls through Gmail instead of using my actual data plan. I remember used to have an actual limit on my texting plan, maybe like 250 or 500 texts, and Google Voice was just unlimited. Just use the data. So at some point, I remember
that you had two different phone numbers, and I was allowed to call one but text the other one.
Yeah.
That wasn't fun.
But what's cool is if you call one number, you call my normal cell phone number, it'll ring over to my Google Voice if I don't pick up on that, and it'll come over on the computer. The same way Apple stole it from Google, but we won't talk about that. So at one point when Google Plus came out, there was at least 4 different ways to communicate through Google on Android, at least on Android. There was Google Voice, there was Google Plus Messenger, which that was a mess. There was Google Chat, which a lot of people used, and then there was just normal texting app. And then I think last summer they created Hangouts, or at least the mobile version of Hangouts, which integrated Google Chat, Messenger, and SMS all in one. And they said they were going to integrate Google Voice at some point, and they said the cutoff date for other applications was mid-May. So hopefully I/O they integrate everything. So with Hangouts you can get your voicemail, and you have a visual voicemail, so it actually dictates out the voicemail that somebody left. And yeah, but it's really cheap international calling, so you don't have to use your normal carrier rates. You can call through your computer. And that's it. I think Google's going to be working on Android TV too, which might be a more robust version of Chromecast, but we'll see about that. All right. I'm gonna move this other story down further. Alright, so E3.
You were very excited about that.
Yes, and to be honest, I did not pay attention to anything but Xbox. So don't ask me about PlayStation, Nintendo, don't care.
Neither did I.
I'm biased, whatever.
Even
So,
with Xbox, I was in and out. I was at work and I had it on my headphones, just listening to it. And whenever I heard a game that I like, I'm like, oh, and I would just listen to that part and just zone out again.
yeah. So, my favorite game is definitely Halo. It has been since 2002. No doubt about that. I read the books, read the comics, get all the games. We knew
You
Halo
are
5.
you are quite obsessed with it.
Not obsessed, I follow it.
You, I mm, I call it obsessed.
Okay. Anyways, we knew Halo 5 was coming out in 2015. But they said last year at E3 they teased that your Halo journey begins on Xbox One in 2014. So it got kind of confusing when earlier this year they said Halo 5 is coming out next year. What would they come out this year? So it looks like they are, well, what they said they are is they're doing multiple things. They're coming out with a ultra super pack of Halo 1 anniversary, Halo 2 anniversary, which is big news. So they basically remastered the entire Halo 2 game, multiplayer maps and single player with new graphics. Halo 3 included, and Halo 4, plus all the multiplayer maps that ever came out for those games, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Also included with that is you'll get a pass to watch Halo Nightfall, which is a new Xbox Originals series coming out. It'll be starting, I believe, November, December. So that's going to be a live-action show, new Halo live-action show.
Mm-hmm.
That was going to be directed by Ridley Scott, you know, Gladiator.
I know.
I'm also obsessed with Gladiator, so.
I was very happy to hear that they're making a show and not a movie. I feel like the downfall of video game movies is the fact that it's a movie. You take something like a video game, which is especially with Halo, which is years of material, years of books and comics and gaming and all that stuff with a character like Master Chief, and to fit everything in one movie and have it be satisfying would have been the wrong thing to do. So when I heard a little bit ago about the TV show, that was when I was super happy.
So what they did make a good choice since Bungie, the original developers of Halo, when they handed off Halo to Microsoft officially. So Microsoft basically owns all the Halo intellectual property. Once Microsoft took over, they actually started strategically releasing the media. So books, comics, everything. It's all under Microsoft. So before Halo 4 came out, the other movie, Halo Forward Unto Dawn, involved the younger version of a character in Halo 4, as well as the book came out a couple weeks before that movie, which also involved some of the same characters and tied into Halo 4 as well. So they have everything planned out almost probably for the next 5 years. And if they're working on Halo 2 anniversary, it means they're working on that for at least 2 to 3 years. So they had that already planned. And there is going to be another series next year. We still don't know any info about, directed by Steven Spielberg. So we may see that around Halo 5 time.
It must have been exploding while they were announcing all this stuff.
I expected more Halo 5 stuff, so I'm still kind of disappointed about that. So since Microsoft is just a big factory just pumping out this stuff now. They're trying to ease the transition because there hasn't been. I mean, the last game was 2012, but I've been waiting to have something to work on the Xbox One. Every time I want to play Halo, I have to go back to the 360, and that's pretty annoying. I have this Xbox One just sitting here, $500 box, and I only have one game for it.
You sounded like what's his name from Arrested Development. Are you telling the guy with a $3,000 suit that he needs to?
Are you telling the guy with the $6,000 suit?
Come on!
So leading into that, Halo Nightfall is going to be one of a few shows, at least, called Xbox Originals that Microsoft's going to be developing just for Xbox that you can watch. So digital downloads. Another game I'm excited for is the Crackdown MMO. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be definitely open for a lot of people to play. I played the first one. I didn't play the second one, actually. So the first one was pretty good, just because of the sheer amount of destruction you can do and how strong you can become. You can just kick. I mean, it's pretty bad. You can kick pedestrians like a few hundred feet just because you get stronger and faster. You can jump up maybe 10 flights of stairs all at once.
You know what that reminds me of? Force Unleashed 2. Where right off the bat, you were strong enough to just force push everything off wherever they were standing and just kill everyone in like 2 moves.
Yeah, that wasn't a good game.
No, that's when you were talking about that. That reminded me of how because the Force Unleashed 1, you just go with the game. You get stronger with every level, and at the end, you're super strong, but you're fighting against super strong people. But with Force Unleashed 2, right off the bat, you're a lot stronger than you were in Force Unleashed 1. And it's just, after 5 minutes of playing it, I was bored. I was already bored.
Plus, it was just a bad game.
Yeah, sorry for the tangent.
That was such a bad game. Somebody told me it was a bad game, and I bought it anyway. And then I let you play it. That was even worse.
I didn't like it.
So next up, Amazon teased had a pretty awkward teaser for their next device. I believe they're going to be announcing it this week. So I'm not sure if you saw the video. Actually, did you?
For Amazon?
Yeah.
I didn't see the video. I saw the teaser picture.
I think there's a way to watch YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. The video where they're just looking at something and they're like, oh my god, oh.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that.
Okay.
I think it's a 3D phone.
Maybe they want people to think that.
I think, what else would cause you, other than bad marketing, what else would cause you to go, whoa, if
Vertigo.
you grab the phone? The only thing that would cause you to go like that is 3D phones.
Maybe it induced seizures. You never know.
What did you say?
Maybe it induces seizures.
But okay, from the you wanna make this interesting?
What?
$5. I say it's a 3D phone, and you say it's something else.
I'm not doubting it's a phone. So getting into the technical now, because we have to break it down. I almost think Amazon made their tablets just so they can have something, because they had the Kindles, and then they felt that they had to keep going. The Kindle Fires. They run off of Android. Now since it's the open version of Android, Amazon can do whatever they want. They can modify it, make it look however they want. You can hack it to run Android apps on it. But right now, the only advantage that the Kindle Fires have over other Android tablets is Amazon Instant Video. So if you haven't bought anything through Amazon's service at all, there's not really a good reason to have a Kindle versus like a Nexus 7 or even like a G-Pad, the 8.3-inch one.
Oh, and did you see the announcement for their Prime Music?
Yes, that's later. We'll talk about that later on.
Oh, well.
Actually, no, we'll talk about it right after this.
Oh, okay, sir.
So I don't doubt it's going to be a phone, but now the big question is, what service is it going to run on? Who's going to sell it? How many people are going to buy it? Because it runs off its completely own separate app store now.
Have you noticed Amazon has gone crazy with their announcements and all the products they're coming out with this year in particular?
I stopped paying attention to the Kindle releases because now they have the Kindle Fire HDX 2.5 54. I stopped caring. I like the original Kindle Fires; those were good. But then they come out with 5 different versions of the same one. Okay, I think there's 3, but still, I stopped caring because they're all kind of the same. The big thing is the whatever it is, I forgot, the SOS or something, where you can have a live tech talk to you.
Oh, wait, hold on, sorry.
Now you have your dog.
Mila came over. Okay, sorry about that.
So do you pay for Amazon Prime?
I have the student version, so I don't know what that's good for, other than shipping. It's just shipping, right?
If you can probably see right now if it'll let you do anything. But I think, yeah, I don't have a link. But my dad actually signed up for it, and he says it's pretty bad if you're using another service. Because think of it as the streaming video. You know, it lets you stream some things, but other things you have to buy. So it's almost like Netflix plus you can buy other stuff if you want.
One more thing about Amazon. Hold on one second, I wrote it here. Oh, we were talking about what software it would have. I've never played around with Kindle Fire. What software do they have?
Kindle Fires, they run off of Android, but Amazon modified it, so you couldn't even tell. Maybe other than like a little menu here or there.
So if they're... nothing. So maybe they're just doing a phone version of what they have.
The big difference is they're not running Google's apps. For devices to run them, they have to be certified by Google. So you're allowed to sell an Android phone without Google apps, but you cannot. In that case, you cannot run the Gmail app. You can't use Google Plus. You can't use Calendar, all that stuff. But again, you can do what they call side loading. So I can take the Dropbox app and go and download it, like push it to the device. But you're not going to see that in Amazon's App Store. So that's the big thing. So it's useless to me. A lot of things that make Android great are Google services. If you don't need Google services, then go ahead and buy a Kindle. If Grandma doesn't use Google, buy her the Kindle. You know, nice big interface, big buttons.
Calling people who use Kindle grandmas?
Any old person I call grandma. So I'm almost thinking if they're going to do that with a phone, if they're going to change up the interface a little bit. But again, if you buy anything in the Amazon App Store or the ecosystem, you're kind of tied to that. Same with Apple. So that's that. Go going on to entertainment, Orange is the New Black Season 2 came out, as everybody knew, last week.
And I watched the whole thing in like 4 days.
I don't know how people watch all 13 and a half hours. Some people watched it, I believe, in 2 days.
Well, whatchamacallit, my wife works the night shift, so I have the entire night to myself. So I watch shows. So I just went through it in 4 days.
Yeah, I maybe couldn't, the most I can do is one per day. But, so we just finished the second to last episode, so may watch the last one tonight. But I'm excited.
Throws the ring into fire and it's over.
Oh, great. And the Eagles come.
Yep. Freaking Eagles always save everyone. No one thanks them.
So this season has been pretty good so far. We're not going to spoil anything this time. I like how you see a little bit more origins explained for characters.
I compared it to the first season of Lost. Did you ever watch Lost?
A few episodes here and there.
The first episodes where you see what's going on in the island, but then they show you, not origin stories. Yeah, kind of origin stories of the characters, and that's what It's the New Black did this season. A lot of backstories of characters and where they come from, and it doesn't really tell you why they're in prison. It hints at it, other than one character. The other backstories that they show, they kind of hint at it. This is why they're in prison, but they don't really show it.
Yeah.
Sorry about the dog barking.
So, you can definitely tell they have more seasons planned. It's just the way that, I don't know how it ends, but just the way things have been progressing, there's not many things that have been resolved yet. But you're almost wondering how much can they stretch it. Now,
I can't tell you. I've watched it, so I can't tell you.
Yeah. I haven't watched any of the other the Netflix originals like House of Cards or, what was it? I think there was some fantasy werewolf show or something. Hemlock Grove. I haven't watched that at all. So I don't know the pace of those shows either. I don't know if they're set to do just like 1 or 2 seasons, or Arrested Development. That's technically a Netflix original now, at least the 4th season.
Yes, it is.
Speaking of that...
Which that bothered me, how it's Netflix original. What are you laughing at?
Well, yeah, that was their first Netflix original, I think.
Yeah, but it's not original. They took some other show, so it's not... You know what I'm saying? It's the 3rd season of a show that already existed.
Yeah. I've been rewatching. I just started the third season of Arrested Development again, watching through again, and I think I told you before, I really like the pace that the first 3 seasons did versus the 4th one. The 4th one, it was inventive. It was original, how you can basically start anywhere and pick up on the story. But it was almost too subtle, all the jokes and stuff, and you kind of miss all the inside stuff from previous seasons. I think they did once.
Do they have the previous seasons on Netflix?
Yep, it's all on Netflix.
Okay, good.
But I don't like the format. I know it was experimental.
Yeah.
But it kind of bored me. And I think that they only got good in the last 2 episodes. All right. So
that's when they kind of did the punchlines of the show. Because a lot of stuff happened throughout the show, and you're just watching it going like, what the heck is going on? And then all of a sudden you find out everything connects, and you say, oh, that's why it's funny.
You're like, oh,
10
okay.
episodes. Oh, that's why that would have been funny.
But it's not anymore.
But it wasn't, because we didn't know, but now it is.
Huh. Alright, what do you got next?
Uh, hold on, I lost my thing. Okay. Ooh, I want to talk about the Grand Budapest Hotel. Do you like Wes Anderson?
Never heard of him.
Oh my God. Have you heard of it's like his main, the Royal Tenenbaums, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Moonrise Kingdom?
You watch a lot of stuff. Remember that.
But he's just famous. Okay, anyway, uh, he has a very unique style of humor in movies. It's very dry. It's not if they put it in the comedy section of you know uh, places like Netflix or wherever you go. There, he's always known as a comedic director, but it's not really a comedy movie you're watching. It's like a especially with Grand Budapest Hotel. It's like a story with so many different characters that have such a unique, I don't know, history and the way the way all of them interact with each other. It's so good. This movie was one of my favorites that he's made, and one of the things that's unique about him is his color palette in his movies. I can't see you haven't seen it, so I can't explain it to you. Like everything's off color. Nothing's when you look at a color and you say that's brown, this is yellow. It's like a shade of brown or a shade of yellow. It's you need to watch it. That's the only reason I put it. I basically put this movie in the notes just to tell you to watch it.
Okay. All right. Uh, get back to my list.
Oh, and one more movie I want to talk about. I think I thought it would be a good idea for me to recommend the movie per episode and tell you like a little backstory of what the movie's about, and then people watching can decide if they want to watch it or not. This movie is on Netflix. It is called The City of Children. If you don't mind subtitles, it's a great movie to watch. It's by a French director, Jean-Pierre Jeunet, or I can't even say his name. It's a very French name. And Ron Perlman is in it. You know, the Hellboy guy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's speaking French, but he's barely speaking French in it because he's supposed to be this slower guy in the movie where he doesn't really speak a lot. And the story is about an old guy with. This is gonna sound so weird. Okay, there's one old guy. There's 8 clones that were made off of the original. They call them. There's a dwarf wife, and there's a brain in a fish tank.
Mm-hmm.
All these characters were made by the creator, they call him, which was he was kind of a not a mad scientist, but a little crazy scientist. And he's the what you call it? He's the one who made all these different characters, and they don't tell you what happens to him. You find out later on, but the movie is about the old guy. Oh, everyone has a flaw. All the people that he's made in his lab, all these characters that he's made in his lab have a flaw. All the clones have that disease where you fall asleep. I forgot what it's called. You just randomly fall asleep. Narcoleptic, I think it's called. Right?
Narcolepsy.
Like I said, the wife is a dwarf. And the old guy isn't supposed to be old. The problem is he can't dream. He can't really sleep or dream. So he's been aging rapidly. And the whole movie is about him kidnapping kids, attaching them to a machine that he's built to try to steal their dreams. But they all end up having nightmares, and he can't stay in the dream because they scare him away. And so the movie is about him trying to find that one kid who's not scared of him, that he can steal his dream from and not grow old.
Interesting.
Very good movie. I can't recommend it enough.
All right.
And again, it's on Netflix.
City of Lost Children.
Or in French, Joujou, Oran.
Something, something. All right. All right. So my app of the week is Wikipedia Beta for Android. Um,
Do you have it
the
for iOS yet?
No, because it's not relevant to iOS.
Well,
Yeah, because the original Wikipedia app for Android basically hasn't changed since it came out, and it looks like it was designed for Android 2.3. It was really ugly. So Wikipedia came out with a beta app which matches the design language of um, at least 4.0 and up. So think of it for if it was iOS, think of it as it was designed for I don't know iOS 4, and you're on iOS 7 now. It would look completely out of place. Non-functional buttons aren't where they're supposed to be in this day and age. So it's free app, Wikipedia beta. It's just smoother for the modern age. And what's your app?
the official FIFA. Hold on, is that what it's called? I'll tell you in a second.
Was it
This is
the
called
Adidas one?
FIFA. I like it because I was very hesitant about using it because it asked me if I want to push notifications, and I was iffy because a lot of apps like this just go crazy with notifications. Every 10 minutes you get a notification. But this is great because you choose what games are the most important ones to you. You choose the team that is your main team. This is who you really want to follow. And because America doesn't really care about the World Cup, and plus most of all the other continents and countries are into soccer, not as much as America. Uh, their timing, most of the games that I kind of want to watch are before 5 p.m. So I don't get to watch them. So I keep getting notifications about the teams and their scores and what's going on. If someone got a card, and then if someone got a card, they'll put a short video of what they did that caused them to get a card, or if there's a goal, they put a video there. So it's if you are trying to follow the World Cup, but you're having a hard time knowing where the game is and everything, it has a calendar, it has all the teams, you choose the team, and it shows you all the dates. It's the most useful app for the World Cup games.
All right. All right. So anything else you want to add? We actually are basically done.
Yes. We are going to a wedding on Sunday. So I wanted to take the time to congratulate our friends Matt and Christina. They'll be Matt and Christina Smeagol, I believe, on Sunday. So, yeah, just wanted to put that out there.
All right.
You wanna congratulate our friends, Matt and Christine?
Yes, congratulations.
There you go.
Matt was on last week for you guys, if you didn't know.
Yes. He's the guy with the shoulder tattoos, the Aladdin hair.
All right. Yeah, I think that's it. So, thanks everybody for tuning in, and hope you enjoyed. And we will let you know when the next episode is.
Doki. Thank you for watching, everyone.